Our next game, guys, Rams-Eagles. I apologize if you had the Rams spread. There's not a worse beat.
Nothing to talk about with the Denver Broncos, by the way.
No, we didn't. Yeah, fantasy-wise, not really.
It was a return to normalcy for Cortland Sutton, J.K. Dobbins. Nice game in a revenge loss. All right, now we can move on to a bad beat. Well, this is, yes, if you had Rams money line,
yeah.
This is, yeah.
When you have like a 350-pound player returning a block kick to kill your spread.
But, Jay, what are the odds? I mean, what do you think, in essence, basically, I brought this point up last night on the Football Night in America pod. The play that everyone talks about, rightfully so, is the block punt, Jordan Davis, 300 pounds, scoop and score.
Yep.
Yeah, the block and the field goal attempt, sorry. Blocks the field goal attempt, scoop and score by a 300-pound defensive lineman. Crazy play. But to me, that's not the play. To me, as mind-blowing as that play was, if they fall on the ball, they still win the game. Just the fact that, this 300-pound guy ran the whole way and outrun and won for a touchdown. The craziest part is that was the second field goal in a row that they blocked.
Yeah.
And so if I tell you with 5 minutes to go or whatever it is, that in order for the Rams to lose, they need to have 2 field goals blocked.
From makeable range.
From makeable range. What are the odds at that point?
I mean, how many? I don't know what percentage of field goals gets blocked off the top of my head. It would be like 3-4%, like max. So basically 3% times 3%. So 30 to 1 times 30 to 1. So yeah, 9,000 to 1. It's quite a lot.
Yesterday, 5 field goals were blocked. I think that's the most in a day, as long as they've been tracking it. I'll get more confirmation on that. But you had also just wild plays.
Yep.
Like Will McDonald returns 1. You had the Eagles blocking 2. You had just. It's just insane.
Yeah,
blocking field
I think
goals.
it'd be around 1,000 to 1.
Yeah,
that type of range.
And you've got to be. If you're Matthew Stafford, if you're Devontae Adams, if you're Sean McVay, you're just like.
Hurts also had to convert 4th and goal. Game's over if he doesn't convert that. I will say, for all the criticism of Jalen Hurts, and I do think there are some limitations to his game, that guy's heart rate is so steady in these big moments. He is as clutch as it gets. It just feels inevitable at this point, which is strange because he doesn't have the aura of a Josh Allen or a Lamar Jackson or a Patrick Mahomes. But in these moments when he has to have it, it just feels like he's going to deliver.
He's like this. He's just this silent assassin, this quiet killer.
Even celebrate at the end.
Right. He's not a guy that's and Josh Allen's jumping around and Baker Mayfield's chest bumping people and everything like that.
Yep.
Jalen Hurts is sort of like.
On to next week.
Yeah, on to next week, exactly.
He's almost like
we're
Belichick of quarterbacks.
He really is.
That's what it reminds me of. You get nothing. The block kick, they had a camera on him on the sideline. Nick Sirianni is running for his life, and Jalen Hurts is just walking straight with this deadpan face.
We got that.
I feel like he's playing into the bit a little bit.
Sure. Oh, no. With his clothes. Yeah. But it's fine.
Yeah, no, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Guy's Super Bowl MVP. All he does is win.
Yeah, it is really fantastic. Just so many clutch plays, and it feels a little bit like, last year with the Chiefs, we sort of said this, they can't keep getting away with this. How do they keep finding ways to win? This is ridiculous. The Chiefs last year, remember they beat the Broncos on a blocked field goal.
Yep.
And so once again, the Eagles, to get back-to-back blocked field goals and also, converting the 4th down and getting the touchdown, it's...
The story to me, though, is that if the Eagles, whose offense looked terrible in the passing game the first 2 weeks, the way that the bottom would really fall out of them would be if A.J. Brown had kind of turned into Allen Robinson. That was the fear. Because Allen Robinson fell off a cliff at 28 as well, and that's how old A.J. Brown is. No, he's not Allen Robinson. A.J. Brown's still A.J. Brown. He looked magnificent. He was the guy they went to repeatedly with the game on the line. Devontae Smith looked good as well. This looked very much, Matthew, like the Eagles' offense that we've seen the past couple of years.
101 passing yards for Hurts last week. 2 weeks ago, it was 151. So, when they needed to, they turned it on. 21 of 32, 226, and 3 touchdowns. Most of that in the second half. The 3 touchdowns definitely came in the second half, but the majority of the passing yards as well for Jalen Hurts. 32 pass attempts. The last time he had more than this was week 4 of last season. First game with 3 touchdown passes since week 17 of 2023. But it's nice to know that it's there. I don't know that we expect this every single time, but it's nice to know that when they do need to turn that on, they can. I don't know that we're out of the woods fantasy-wise, though, with A.J. Brown. Again, they had to be down basically 3 scores to finally said, all right, screw it, we're gonna throw.
And they're picking on Emmanuel Forbes. Like, it's not a great secondary in LA, but
Forbes always makes his way back.
I know.
What's almost most.
Although you know what, I said that in the screening room, and Devin McCourty was like, nah, Forbes is playing well this year.
It's been better since he got out of Washington.
Yeah.
Just got a fresh start.
Yeah.
Better
since he
not
got
first-round pick.
Better since he got out from under Ron Rivera's coaching.
Yes.
We can say it.
What's wrong? Why can't they generate explosives with Saquon these first 3 weeks? He hasn't had one long run in 3 weeks.
It is very weird. I mean, the line is now a little banged up.
Yep.
I know Lane Johnson was hurt at one point in this game as well, but it just doesn't feel like. I think number one, teams are definitely bracing for it. Like we talked about that week 1 where they were like, anyone else try to beat us.
It's
So I
really
think
4
that's
games in
standing
a
out.
row as well because the Super Bowl, he didn't
Same
do
thing.
anything either. Yeah.
Right. I don't think it's anything to do with Saquon.
Yeah.
I think
teams
it's
are
absolutely
loading
the
up.
way teams are loading up and playing against them. And back to your point, Matthew, just about do you believe this is actually sustainable if we're out of the woods? Yeah, A.J. Brown had some really interesting thoughts on the offense in general after the game.
I truly believe, man, we got so many good players on this team, and at times, you can feel like we're being conservative, and I don't think it should be like that. I think it should, let your killers do their thing, and play fast and play aggressive. I'm not saying that we haven't been, but me personally, that's what I would like. Obviously we're gonna run the ball and we're gonna set up the run off the pass and the pass off the run, but we have a lot of good players and I feel like you should just let us go. So it shouldn't be like that.
The translation of that to me is he's saying I could do this every week.
Yeah.
We just have to try to play this way.
And we're not. And my expectation is we're not going to play like this every week. He's like, it just sort of, like we have a lot. Basically, we have a lot of good players on this team, and we got to spread the ball around. I actually think that if I had A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith, I would look to try to sell high or sell close to market value. That like, hey, they're back, everything like that. Because I think this is. Like I said, it had to be perfect game script for them to actually start throwing it. And like the first 2 weeks, they didn't throw it at all, and they win. You know what I mean? So it's just like, and then you look at their upcoming schedule. They're at Tampa Bay, home to Denver. You're going to be able to run on Denver. At the Giants, you're going to be able to run on the Giants, and they're at Minnesota. Like, I don't know. I don't know that A.J. Brown is going to return consistent top 10 fantasy wide receiver production week in, week out, given the run-heavy nature of this team. And that's where you drafted him as.
Right.
If I could get more or less close to full market value for either Brown or Smith, I would take it.
Would you trade him for Ladd McConkey?
I don't think that's full market value because McConkey was a wide receiver too.
Right.
But and you're now, and I think at their value right now, McConkey is. So that's a good question though, because it's a value question versus a negotiation question. So the question is, who would I rather have rest of the season, Brown or McConkey? I think I'd rather have McConkey. But would I trade Brown for McConkey? No, I think I could get more than McConkey. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it does. It makes a ton of sense.
I don't think. Yeah. So that's what I would say there.
This one from HTTC. What RB1 would you target with A.J. Brown?
I mean, Marion Hampton.
That's the one that comes to mind right away.
I'd rather have Marion Hampton than A.J. Brown. But I think that most people would now, and the cat might be out of the bag.
Kyron Williams?
Williams.
I would trade for Kyron Williams. I mean, even in this game, you had Blake Corum getting more work again, but it doesn't feel like that's taking away from Kyron Williams.
I'd trade, and you might be able to get this because the manager of him might be really frustrated now. Give me Chase Brown. How about A.J. Brown let's trade Browns. Like, my Brownler for your Brownler. Yeah, come on.
Things are not going well most of the time for either of us.
Yes.
Things are really not going well for Chase Brown.
I know, we're going to get to that for a second, but I'm just saying, like, I think Chase Brown has an unquestioned workload. I think that offense gets better, and so, yes, I would rather have Chase Brown rest of the season than A.J. Brown, and I bet you that's a deal you could get done.
I would agree. I would think most people that have Chase Brown would take A.J. Brown.
Would you rather have A.J. Brown or Quinshon Judkins?
Quinshon Judkins.
Yeah, me too. You could probably get that trade as well.
Yeah. Yep. It's a good suggestion.
Well, let's go to the Bengals.
I was going to say, do we want to talk about this Rams backfield here for a second?
A little bit. I mean, Blake Corum's getting more work, but it's not impacting. It's not like Kyron's falling off a cliff because of it. And look at the snap rates. I mean, Kyron's 74% still.
Yeah. It's
not like it's 60-40.
Yeah, and by the way, 100% of the goal line rushes. He gets 22 touches in this game, and 116 total yards. Game script worked in the Rams' favor for much of the game. But I just think the point here is that, and we can talk about this a little bit more tomorrow, but Kyron Williams, when he's gotten out there, Blake Corum, when he's gotten out there, looked really good. 8 for 53. He's averaging over 6 yards a carry. Look, honestly, to the eye test, Connor looked more explosive than Kyren Williams.
Yeah, he has fresh legs, right? This is somebody that coming out of college was banged up and really needed some time, but now you're kind of seeing him, in year 2 look a little bit more fresh, and they probably want to keep Kyren fresh because he's got it's broken down every year.
He's missed games every year this season. Corum now averaging over 7 yards per carry over the last 2 games. And I know there was a lot of preseason hype from some analysts around Jarquez Hunter, and I think people sort of left because Blake Corum didn't do anything in his rookie year. They sort of and the Rams go in and draft Jarquez Hunter there. Well, it's clear that the Rams are out on Corum and they want Hunter, and Hunter's the guy. And the answer is nope. No, if Blake Corum needs to be rostered in 100% of leagues because Kyren Williams is rostered in 100% of leagues, and if I had Kyren Williams, I would want to make sure I got Blake Corum. Or if I wanted to screw over the Kyren Williams manager in my league, I would also try to make sure I had Blake Corum, because there's real upside there if he gets a significant role.
It's a good backfield to own.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.